Hello everyone, back to my channel. No, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a pretty, come here, or not, come here. I'm not going downstairs right now. I am not going downstairs right now. No, no. Come on. Okay, never mind. I guess she doesn't want to be on camera. So welcome to my new workspace. Last week's video I was downstairs and I told you guys that as soon as I got what I needed to use my camera and my laptop together, I was gonna start filming up here in my little station. And yeah, my failed attempt at a backdrop. But if I zoom the camera in a little too much, then all you see is my face, my fat face. You don't want my fat face. So I will figure this out actually. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do just yet about it, but for now, this will do. So I do have a pretty exciting video for you, because I too have a couple of stories about this particular thing. Yes, I am wearing regular lashes this time. I am not wearing magnetic. I am wearing actual falsies. I'm happy for myself. Yay! And yes, I am in my witchy attire again, I guess. I'm just kidding. Not witchy at all. And I mean at all. Just happens to be purple, which is my favorite color. I do have my bracelet. My AC just kicked in. So, enough with the rambling. Let's get to today's story. Pretty sure you saw the thumbnail by now, and you know that it is on La Llorona. La Llorona is a huge part of my culture, and apparently Central American and South American culture, and even some parts of the US, especially towards the border, believe on this entity. And like I said, I do have stories about it, so let's get to it. So as you know, La Llorona, or the whipping woman, she is, or was, a beautiful woman. In several stories she's named one thing, in others she's named another, but I know her as Maria. Others know her by Xochi, others know her by a different name, but I know her as Maria. And Maria was a beautiful woman who married a wealthier man, and he worked a lot, so he traveled. And they married, they had 2 kids, they were happy. And then one day he comes home, doesn't pay attention to her anymore, just the kids. He pretty much fell out of love from her. And he meets a younger woman who he falls madly in love with. And I'm looking at my notes again. And he goes off, he runs out, runs out on her and decides to take the children. So this other woman, this younger woman, will raise their 2 boys. While Maria didn't like it at all. She pretty much said, fine, you can leave, but you can't have my kids. And I guess they fought over them and whatnot. And at some point, she was about to put them to bed, and she said, let's go to the river to take a bath really quick before bed. And she took them to the river nearby. and she drowned her boys. And you know, she didn't say that she drowned them, it just said, oh, they're not here right now, when he started asking for them. And the story goes that he went out looking for them, essentially, and she went with him to go look for the boys. And they ended up finding them near the river, or in the river. I'm not quite sure yet, or at all actually, because I've heard so many stories, I've read so many stories about her, and they all have different versions of the story. At the same time, they mix them up with a different story. They mix La Llorona story with La Malinche, which is another story, also from Mexico, but this La Malinche was more of a Aztec, I want to say goddess, but I'm not quite sure what she was. I don't really know that story because I wasn't told that story about her, but it's the same premise. It's there. It's really, really similar. But anyways, so they find the kids, and she admits that yes, she did drown her 2 boys so he wouldn't take them. So she pretty much did out of spite to him. She did not want him to take them. She didn't want this other woman to raise her 2 boys. And I mean, can you blame her? I can, because I'm still a mother and I would do anything to protect my children, but this woman didn't do that. So she pretty much spent her entire life, and even the afterlife, searching for her children. This story has been going around for centuries, actually. I think this story goes back to maybe the early 1800s. I think it was the early 1800s. I'm not exactly sure when this actually happened, but I do know that it happened centuries ago, and she was pretty much condemned to spend her entire afterlife on earth, essentially purgatory, but on earth. She didn't move on whatsoever. Her spirit stayed here till this day. And it's sad that if you hear her cries, to run the opposite side. She can sound like a child, but she can sound just like a regular woman crying out for her children. And she will pretty much cry out mis niños, which means, or mis hijos better said, which means my sons. But you gotta remember that in Spanish, when you say hijos, it can mean just boys, or it can mean a boy and a girl. But we all know that she had 2 boys, so it doesn't, in that perspective, it doesn't matter if she said hijos. But she does scream out mis hijos. And it's sad that that if she does find children out late by themselves, she will pretty much kidnap these kids thinking they're hers, and she will eventually drown them. Scary. But it is said that if you do come across her, not only to run the opposite way, but it's said that she will bring a lot of sorrow, a lot of guilt, a lot of misfortune, and it can possibly kill you or someone in your life, which is pretty scary. I've read many legends, and just like last week's legend, that I did with La Lechuza, which is the witch owl. You know, she will bring death to the people that pretty much wrong her, but in this way, it is children and people who come across her path. And even I'm pretty sure I've seen her as a kid in Mexico. But it is said that she is dressed in white from head to toe with the veil over her face, like essentially like a bride, but she's not a bride. She is a woman in mourning, essentially, because she killed her children. She drowned them. Let's see, what else do I have in my notes? Okay, so the story of La Llorona actually goes back way before Mexico had a story of her. I read online that there is a story very similar to this, but from ancient Greece. I don't know the exact story on that because I didn't read the entire thing because I was doing so much research for this particular video for La Llorona only. But I do know that there is a resemblance to the stories I've glanced through from Greece, from ancient Greece. But the story of the Llorona is from Mexico, Central America, South America, and even states that are pretty much bordered to Mexico, like Texas, California, obviously. Let's see what else is next to the border. New Mexico, Arizona. I think those are the only states that are bordered to Mexico. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I really don't remember, but I'm pretty sure those are the only states. But many states have similar stories to the Llorona. They call her the Lady in White. They call her the whipping woman. There's so many other names that are specifically similar to La Llorona, which is pretty scary. Growing up, my grandmother, actually specifically my grandmother, will always say, don't go outside late at night or the Llorona's gonna come and get you. Or if you don't behave, the Llorona's gonna come and get you. Essentially like saying El Cucuy. If you are Mexican or Mexican descent, you pretty much know a lot about El Cucuy, and parents and grandparents and your aunts and uncles will say it, right? But in this case, it was a Llorona. My grandmother would say it all the time, and at one point even my aunt said it to a few of us. We were hanging out together outside. It was late at night. We didn't want to go inside. It was extremely hot, but towards the night it was already starting to cool down and all. So we just wanted to play outside. That was actually a big mistake. It turned out it was just the neighbor, the kid next door, crying out. But we heard moaning and crying and whining outside. I haven't been to my grandmother's house in over 15 years, but I do know that the whole layout changed. My grandmother's house is right here. The road was right here. And then across the street was a giant field, essentially. They would, grow cotton or grow strawberries. They will grow a bunch of stuff, but mainly cotton. And in between the river, there was like a canal type thing. Most of the time it was empty unless it turned the water on. It was like a man-made canal. You had to cross that to get to the field if there was water. And then when there was no water, we actually made like a little bridge out of dirt, essentially. So you will cross that. But when there's water, it was late at night. I swear I saw her. I swear I did. Just thinking about it is making me all anxious because it really scared me. Hold on. There was water in a little canal. We were out in the street. There's street lights on. But there was one street light that didn't work. It was a little away from my grandmother's side, maybe like 2 houses down to my left. And the canal did have water because they had just turned it on earlier that day. And the ball went towards that way because we were playing kickball. And I was on that side, so I had to go and get it. And I swear I saw this white silhouette. She was whining. She wasn't much screaming out mis hijos, but she was whining, like crying almost. If I can find the sound, I will add it around here somewhere with her picture or something. If not, I will put a clip down below on the comments, not on the comments, on the bottom bar, you know what I mean, with a clip of her crying, essentially, if I can find one. If not, then I apologize. But yeah, she was whining and crying, and out of nowhere I did hear someone scream out, "Y mis hijos." It could have been a neighbor. For all I know, it was a neighbor. I don't want to think that it was La Llorona because it scares the crap out of me. But I grabbed my ball up, but I could have swore I saw this little silhouette. She wasn't touching the ground either. She was like, the ground's right here. She was like up here, like floating almost. And it was a long white, like wedding gown, like a vintage wedding gown with the veil. She was looking down. She wasn't looking up. She was looking down at the water. And I swear, I felt her looking at me, like going like this only, which is scary if you ask me. So I grabbed the ball and I ran. And I told, I don't remember if it was my cousins with me, or the neighbor's kids, or my cousin's friends. It was, I forgot who it was who was with me. I was maybe around 9 or 10 years old when this happened. And I told them in Spanish, let's go back inside because I think I just saw La Llorona back there, and I think I heard her cry, and then I heard "Y mis hijos." I don't know, I'm like, we should just go inside. So we pretty much ran inside. And I don't remember what else happened from there. And then there was this other time we were on our way to Mexicali. My dad liked driving at night so we can sleep pretty much the entire 6.5 hours to Mexicali. And I could have sworn I saw her again. I didn't hear her whining or crying or anything, but I just saw her walking by. At the edge of the road, there was another canal because there was fields on both sides. And I could have sworn I just saw her walking, and I was just looking out because I had this thing for looking out the window, especially towards the sky to see all the stars, looking for a shooting star. And at that moment I saw this silhouette, white silhouette once again, and actually looked at me. But since I was in the car, you know, with my parents, my brother was asleep in his car seat, I think, or booster, I don't remember, but that was scary. Very scary. There's been sightings of La Llorona all over the place, especially if it's near a body of water, like a river, a canal, or even a lake. I've heard people say that they've seen her by a lake, which is scary. I couldn't find anywhere online or remember any stories of her being able to go indoors uninvited or with invitation or any of that, so I don't know if she could go indoors or not. But I do know that if you do see her or hear her cries, run from the opposite side. get as far as you can. Do not let her catch you. Go indoors, because if she does, she could bring sorrow, misfortune, guilt. Like, you'll feel all her feelings, and she feels guilt, sorrow, regret, jealousy. She feels all those things, you know. So just run as fast as you can the opposite way. Make sure she doesn't catch you, and just go indoors, because you don't want any of that. Pretty sure you still want to be alive. So if you hear her cry, run the opposite way. Let's see. But yeah, she will try to kidnap kids if she sees them out late, being, you know, kids, pretty much being bad, I guess you can say. But in reality, they're just being kids, playing outside. I'm not sure what age range of kids she goes after, supposedly, but just keep an eye on your kids. Keep an eye on yourself. Keep an eye on your surroundings. Make sure you know what's around. And my battery or my camera is about to get hot, so I will be back if I can stop this. Alright, I think that's cool enough for now. Anyways, where was I? These lashes are actually really comfortable. My eyeshadow is from Glamlite and Mikayla collaboration. I have the purple one. Actually, let me go show you guys. I'll be right back. Alright, now for sure I am back, and I'm here to stay until I'm done with this video. So for the eyeshadow, I used obviously the Glamlite and Mikayla palette, and I used the colors. I use MJ right here, and I also use Immaculate, which is right here, and for my lid I put Harley on, which is a really good base if you ask me. And then for the corner of my eye, I use the Land of Lollies palette from NYX, and it doesn't actually have a name on it, but I use this black right here, which is like a carbon black almost. It really doesn't have a name on it actually. Nope. And luckily that's not a pressed pigment, so good. I am using the JaiJLashes and Ferrari. Those are the ones I am wearing. I do have the whole Mikayla collection actually. I have the lashes, which are beautiful lashes. These are the brand new. Pretty sure that's what they're called. They're beautiful. They're really fluffy. And I also have Code Orange. Again, gorgeous fluffy lashes. I have the eyeshadow, obviously. I have also a little bit of the highlighter, which I don't know the name of it. It's just a pressed highlighter, which is gorgeous, like really gorgeous. And I also have the lip glosses. For lip liner, I have Gerard Cosmetics Nude. And on top of that, I have this beautiful nude color. Beautiful nude color. Beautiful color. It's nude. It's what I have on top. And it also comes with a gold color and a silver lip toppers. Pretty sure there's a lip topper as well, but it's okay. But yeah. And I also have these other JaiJLashes. These are the style in morning. I have the style Ferrari on right now, which I love. So I will have all the products I use down below, along with a link where you can get these lashes, and of course my Gerard Cosmetics link and code down below. I am an ambassador for this lash company, so you can go ahead and support me. The link is down below, along for Gerard Cosmetics. And I think that's about it for this video. My next video for next week, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do it on, but I do have a list of things that I want to talk about, and it's gonna be the Mothman, the black-eyed kids. Apparently there's white-eyed kids as well, the Jersey Devil, maybe Bloody Mary, and then I want to look for a really scary Japanese urban legend for Halloween, so we'll see. And I'll figure out this whole backdrop thing again for next time. Like that way. That way. Anyways, until next time, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So until next week, I love you. Bye.